So now I'm going to focus a little bit on common self-publishing mistakes. The number one thing I want to talk about, and I know this is me standing on a soapbox, and I apologize in advance, but predatory publishers are why I got into this business to begin with, because I had one lady that I helped. She came to me as, just asking for some help. She was having trouble selling her book, and she was asking me for help with ads. And she showed me the book, and I kind of looked at the listing online, and I said, well, I'm going to just be honest with you here. I think we need to redo the cover. The interior really needs reworking. And there are some things that, with the layout and the listing and other things that I think we need to fix. And then we can go ahead and start advertising it. And I swear she was so upset. And she said to me, April, I spent $26,000 to get this book done by a publisher. And she had gone through a predatory publisher, and she didn't know. She just found somebody online that said that they were, would help you publish your book. She paid all this money, and she didn't have access to anything. They had listed her book under their account. They purchased the ISBN. So according to Amazon, they were the owner of the book. They owned the ISBN. They were the publisher. She didn't have access to anything, no way to get in there and change anything. So I volunteered to try to help her unravel this situation. And it took months to go through this with her publisher, and $5,300 more she had to pay to get the book back from them. And then we had to start over with the cover and some of the interior layout, because while the illustrations were really nice, the quality of what they did in the other areas just was not. And she had already paid so much. So when it comes to predatory publishers, I just, that's what got me to say, I want people to have other options so that they can learn how to publish themselves, so that they don't run into these issues that are going to cost a ton of money, and they're going to add a whole bunch of extra time into their publishing. So just do your research. There's a website called the Alliance of Independent Authors. You can sign up as a member, or you can at least just search their website. And they're a bit of a watchdog group. They will let you know if publishers are predatory, and you can search. Also ask other authors that, when you're in some of these Facebook groups, ask other authors, have you ever worked with this publisher? What are your experiences? Because some call themselves hybrid publishers. Some of them are just vanity presses where people just want to publish a book before they, for one reason or another, whether to grow their business or it's a bucket list item. And a vanity press will just take the book, publish it, get it going. Some of them are better than others. There's a good reason to use them for some people who are just don't want to do their own publishing. But just be careful, because there are a lot of predatory people there. And that's, like I said, one of the reasons why I got into this, doing this for others, because I don't want to see people get duped like that. The second one here is skipping a professional edit. You don't want to do that. It's not enough to have a professor, a friend, a family member, a neighbor edit your book. You're going to want to find somebody who is very well versed in your genre and is a professional editor, does this for a living. People pay them for it. You are going to get a much better book at the end of it, because that is also another area where if people come to me and say, hey, I've got these issues with my book, a lot of times they're getting really low reviews for things like the editing being really off, grammatical errors, issues with the editing itself can cause people to just give you very low reviews. And then all of a sudden, a book that you worked a fraction of a year on is now not very viable if you're getting a bunch of low reviews. You want to put your best foot forward and get that quality book out there. So don't skip a professional edit. Also, contracts and written agreements. I think I mentioned earlier that I do share my contract templates with authors in my group, because I got into a bad contract in my first book, and I promised myself I would never go through that again. So the contract I put together, again, is a work for hire contract. You get to own the rights to the work that's being done for you. They also agree to give you the source files when they're done. so that if you ever need to get back in and tweak anything, you have all of those source files to share with another designer or another illustrator. I made sure that this was really protecting the author. So don't move forward without having a really solid contract with your illustrator or with those that are going to work with you on your project. Marketing as an afterthought, we don't want that. We want marketing all the way through this process of building your book. And don't worry that this is going to be a little bit difficult for you at first. It's practice. It comes with practice, and it takes time to just exercise those muscles. It's a little scary to tell people you're writing a book, but as you start to share and you find people embracing you and being really excited for you, it gets easier. And then when you start putting sneak peeks out there and you see the excitement that happens with others, you'll start to really be able to move forward. And building relationships is much different than, the idea of a sleazy car salesman, right? That's not who we are. So be yourself, but push yourself a little outside your comfort zone and take people along on your journey. That's the best advice I can give you from a marketing perspective. And just keep learning. It takes time and it takes practice, but you will be able to get through the marketing process. I promise you. And, compromising on quality is not something that I would recommend when you are putting together a book. There are people out there that will tell you, you can draw your own, you can lay out your own in PowerPoint or in on Canva, you can get $20 images from Fiverr. These are not the kinds of things that you want to do if you're going to create a professional book. My goal for you is that your book stands next to any traditionally published book in the library and people would not know the difference. So if that's what you want to create and you want to, publish one or more, turn this into a business, then you're going to want to make sure that that brand speaks to the quality that you're providing. And kids aren't going to purchase, adults aren't going to purchase those books that just don't look like they've got the quality that they're used to in the bookstores and the libraries. And then last is going it alone. Just because it's called self-publishing does not mean it's something you have to do yourself. You're going to need a team of people that you can trust. I would say get a mentor or somebody that can help you guide through this, plug into a community of authors. And I'll talk a little bit more as we go through this presentation about the author work group that I have starting, and where you can get together with a group of other people all going through this process at the same time. It's highly recommended to build that community and to have a proven step-by-step system that can help you with a little bit of hand-holding along the way.